Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Emerging Teachers. My name Dr. Anjali Karmakar. I am here to discuss about the maxims of teaching which are required in the educational syllabus of the schools, the colleges, and for the B.Ed students as well as for competitive exams. The maxims of teaching are necessary to make learning effective, inspiring, interesting, meaningful, motivated, and quicken the involvement of learners in the teaching learning process. Active involvement and participation of the learners are achieved if the teacher practices these maxims while teaching. The maxims of teaching energize both the teacher and the taught and make them active and cooperative. Maxims of teaching also help in arousing interest and motivating the students. Maxims of teaching have been discovered, not invented. They are simply statements of the way in which the teaching learning goes on. They ensure effective teaching, and in view of the importance of the maxims in the teaching learning process, some of the important maxims of teaching are: firstly, proceed from known to unknown. The most natural and simple way of teaching a lesson is to proceed from something that the students already know to the facts which they do not know. The teacher arouses interest in the subject matter already known by the students, and then the teacher tries to connect the new matter to the old one. Previous knowledge serves as the foundation for the acquisition of a new one. While using previous knowledge, the teacher must see that it is perfect, definite, and complete. The second maxim I would like to discuss is proceed from simple to complex. Here the simple topics is taught first and then the complex one follows later. Creating interest in the pupils for new knowledge and developing self-confidence in them is a key for successful teaching. It is the responsibility of the teacher to decide what is easy and what is difficult, keeping in view the interest, the attitude, the ability, the potentiality, and the need of the students. The third maxim is proceed from easy to difficult. The psychological makeup of the student should be taken into account while determining what is easy and what is difficult. When lessons are made difficult, gradually according to the student's mental development, then interest will be retained and success in teaching will be achieved. Proceed from the concrete to the abstract. A child's imagination is greatly aided by a concrete material. The mental development of the child begins with concrete objects, and afterwards he gains micro words for them. Therefore, the concrete object or fact should be imparted, known to him first, and then only knowledge should be imparted about abstract things. The fifth is proceed from particular to general. Before giving the principles and the rules, particular examples should be presented. These particular facts will lead the students to frame the general rules. The sixth maxim is proceed from indefinite to definite. The ideas of the students in all the initial stages are indefinite, incoherent, and very vague. So their ideas are to be made more definite, more clear, more precise, and systematic by possible efforts and adequate use of actual objects, diagrams, and pictures. Every possible effort should be made to make the children interested in the lesson that is being taught. The seventh maxim is proceed from empirical to rational. Observation and experience are the basis of empirical knowledge. The child first experiences knowledge in his day-to-day life and afterwards he feels the rational basis. It is always better to begin with what the child sees, then feels and experiences, then arguing and generalizing a fact. The eighth maxim is proceed from psychological to logical. The process of teaching should always proceed along the psychological lines. Though the aim of education is to make mind more logical and to train the reasoning power, yet the initial approach of teaching should be psychological rather than logical, so that the child learns to the maximum. The ninth maxim is proceed from whole to parts. The whole is more meaningful to a child than when it is taught in parts. Researchers have also proved that the whole approach is better than the part approach. While putting emphasis on the whole, one important point to be noted here is that the whole should be interpreted in terms of the child's understanding. It is to be noted that the whole for the slow learners is smaller than the whole for the fast learner. So the teachers should accordingly proceed from the whole to the path according to the need of the child. The 10th maxim I would like to discuss is proceed from analysis to synthesis. Initially, the knowledge of the pupils is vague, uncertain and unorganized. To make his knowledge clear, definite and well organized, a maxim named from analysis to synthesis is usually essential. Analysis means to divide the problem into such living components which on assembling them may solve the problem. Then a comparative study will be made by assembling each component. Analysis and synthesis are complementary. The mixture of both methods is essential for an idealistic teaching. All the above maxims help in lesson planning and guiding the students, keeping in mind the interest, the attitudes, the capacities and the various level of development of the students. If the teacher wants success in teaching tasks, then the knowledge of the maxim is essential for them. These are the 10 different maxims of teaching and learning which I have discussed in my video, the details of which is provided in the link given in the description box. If you have found my video useful, then please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you.